there, I'm Lisa Marie. Welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to do some Dollar Tree DIY crafts on a budget. This sounds like something you like. Stick around. I've got these beautiful florals from Dollar Tree, and then I also have this awesome decal that was made by my friend Leah from DIY Beauty on Purpose, and then an 8x10 frame from the Dollar Tree. What I'm going to do is take the frame apart, just take all the pieces out completely. I'm going to look at the glass and see where I might want to place my decal, and then I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to work on the frame. I have this drop cloth and it made me think of like the shroud that Jesus' body was wrapped in, so I decided to cut some strips. So you just kind of cut a little bit at the top and then rip, and I did that to quite a few of them. So there we go. And then I want to paint the frame so that if you see through it, you can't tell it's gold. So I got the warm buff from Apple Barrel, and look how close it is to the color, the drop cloth. First, I'm going to put a little Mod Podge on there so that the paint will stick. And I'm going to use my heat tool from Amazon to dry that because I have no patience. I'm just going to go ahead and paint the frame front and back. And that's perfect. So if there's any gaps in the drop cloth, that will look good then. So now I'm just going to take my little snips and pull out those little pieces that hold the glass in. Now I'm going to figure out how big the pieces I need for each of the corners. So I cut that size out. I used my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is perfect for this. And I'm just going to go ahead, glue that around the corner and figure out how long I need it to be. I'm going to cut a little like kind of upside down V there so that it won't be too much fabric in the corner. And then I'll just tack that down with a little more glue. And I'm going to do all 4 corners, and then I will work on the rest of the frame. Next, I'm going to figure out what size piece I need for each of the sides, you know, the little pieces. I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of them using the first one that I cut kind of as template. And then I'm just going to start laying down the glue and putting them on the top, and I'll do them all in a row, and then I will turn it over and I'll start gluing the back. And that kind of makes it go faster, almost like a little bit of an assembly line. Turn it over, add some glue to the back, and then I'll just start pushing the edges down right there. Super easy, and it just works really well, and that glue is perfect for this. And I'm trying to leave a little gap so that the glass will go back inside there. And so there's one side, and now there's all the sides. And now I've got my greenery. I'm just going to snip some little pieces off. What I want to do is in the top left and the bottom right corner, I just want to make a little arrangement with the lavender, the greenery, and those little yellow flowers. I'm just going to hot glue them in place, and I think that's going to be really beautiful. Then I had this idea to take a little piece of the drop cloth, cut some kind of wavy pattern on the top, and roll it up, glue it to itself, and then make like little drop cloth flowers, and they'll sit right in the center where those 2 pieces meet so you can't see the hot glue. And I did that to the top corner and the bottom corner, and I think it's actually pretty cute. Next, I'm going to set my piece of glass up on these 2 little containers, and I'm going to use my glass cleaner and just get it nice and clean. I'm going to use my little scraper tool to burnish, make sure that the decal is really on there good so that when I pull off the backing, it will be ready to transfer. Then there's the transfer tape that Leah provided. She did a great job, by the way. Obviously, I know how to do these things, and so it was just kind of fun to get what I didn't have to do. So now I'm laying it down in the center of the glass, and I'm burnishing it again. And then I'm just going to pull up that transfer paper, and look, there it is. Isn't that beautiful? I thought that was the cutest little transfer too. I absolutely love it. And so now I'm just going to put it face down inside the frame, and then I'm going to add some of that glue again to kind of the corners and the middles and push it in. And then I'm going to take some little clamps I have from the Dollar Tree and put them on each of the 4 sides to hold it in place. I love this picture so much. It might be my favorite from this video. You'll definitely have to tell me what you think. Incredibly easy. I ordered these wooden eggs off of Amazon, and I'm just painting them white using some painter's tape to hold them in place while I paint them, and I used primer to do it. And then I'm just drying them off, and I'm going to take some black paint and a toothbrush, and I'm just going to spray them to get that speckled look. And it comes out so cool, but let me tell you, it is so messy. You do need a firm bristled type of a brush. And there you can see the mess that I made all over my hands and the table, but it cleans up so easily. It's worth it. I printed out on my Cricut a bunch of little words that I thought really fit with Easter, and I used a font that kind of looks like Rae Dunn, and I'm just putting them on each of the eggs, and I'm burnishing them on so that the little transfers will work. You could use Dollar Tree stickers, you could write this, whatever you want. It's so easy. You don't have to have a Cricut to do this one. And look how adorable this egg turns out. And then, I did all the rest of them too. I love this so much. And then I've got this little tag from the Dollar Tree, and then I printed out something else on my Cricut that says "He is risen" in that same font. And I'm just going to go ahead and transfer it right on there. Again, you can use stickers, you could write this, whatever you want to do. And it's adorable. I have this basket and I put some greenery in it and a little one of those microfiber little mop things from the Dollar Tree. And I just glued on the tag to the very front. I arranged the little eggs in there. Aren't they cute? And then I just took some greenery and I kind of cut it off the pick and just arranged it with some twine in the middle. Actually, I think that's nautical rope. And then I'm going to put a little lavender in there and hot glue it. And I'm just going to wrap it all up. And that's what's going to cover the hole on my tag because I couldn't think of anything else to do. And I thought this was really pretty. And so that's what I did. Like I said, this one is so easy and it comes out beautiful. I love it. If it's not my favorite, it's my second favorite. And there's my little kind of bow looking thing. And I'm just going to glue it right to the top there with some hot glue. And then I'm going to clamp it so the whole thing stays. Let me know what you think of this one. Super easy DIY. I'm using Jenga blocks, or actually tumbling tower blocks, and some twine from the Dollar Tree and some white chalk paint. I'm just going to paint all of the blocks, put them on some painter's tape, and do all the sides, dry them off, and I'm not going to show you all of that because it takes forever. Anyway, there they are. They're all painted, and then I'm going to add some Mod Podge to them. And then I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to start writing words that are associated with Easter from a spiritual standpoint. And so I write that on all of them, just on one side. And then I'm going to take a very fine tip art brush and some black acrylic apple barrel paint. And I'm going to just go over what I wrote in pencil. And you really need a fine point brush for this, otherwise it's almost impossible. And so I do that with all of them. And as soon as that's done, I'm going to take my twine. I'm going to add some beads to the end. And then I'm going to lay it out. And I'm going to start hot gluing the little blocks on to the twine. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I'm going to do it to all of them and then add a bead in between each one and beads at the end, and then make a little loop and a knot. And that's it, you guys. It's a beautiful Easter garland that you can add to, a greenery garland, or put it on a tray, or put it on a shelf. It's beautiful. This could not get any easier. I mean, seriously, it's so easy to do this, and I hope you love it too. Garland from Five Below. That was $5, and it's a magnolia garland. I'm going to use these pics from Walmart. I think they were $2 and change, and they're just berries. And then I've got this floral tape from the Dollar Tree and floral wire from Hobby Lobby. And what I'm going to do is I need an 8-foot garland. I'm making this for my sister-in-law, and so these are each 6 feet. So I'm going to cut off 2 feet from one of them, and then I'm going to take my floral tape and take the ends, and I'm just going to wrap it around and attach them. And that's how I'm going to turn this into an 8-foot garland. This is my first time making my own garland. Obviously, I'm starting with this magnolia base garland, but by adding the pics to it, it's like I'm creating my own garland, and I think this is the coolest thing, and I definitely want to do this again. I mean, just think, you can make it custom to whatever you like, as long as you just have something to start with, something very basic. And this $5 garland, oh my gosh, you can't beat that. So now I've got it attached. You can see how I'm doing it right here, and there it is. And then I'm going to take the pics, I'm going to cut off all the little pieces. My sister-in-law didn't want that part that had yellow, so I took that out. And I'm alternating kind of side to side with larger pics and smaller pics, and I'm going to use that floral tape, wrap it around, and just keep going down the entire 8-foot garland. Obviously, I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I'm going to show you a couple of them, and then I'll show it to you at the end, because it's the same process over and over and over. And it's actually way easier than I would have ever imagined. And to think you could spend $70 to $100 and something for a really nice quality garland, and you could do this yourself. I really am so glad I tackled this. It's my first time, and who knew it was actually going to be this easy. Turned out gorgeous. And I did put a little hot glue on the end, but you didn't really need to because it's tape and it's sticky, but I was a little overkill, and that's what I did. This is so pretty. She wanted like a spring neutral kind of a garland, and this is perfect. And I think it'll carry into summer too. I think it'll be perfect for that. I love the magnolia leaves with the berries. It's a great combination. And here you can see I'm just getting a little further down the garland. And there it is. I just have a little piece of right there, and it looks like this for the whole 8 feet. And I forgot to film it, but I also added fairy lights that I got off of Amazon, and they look so nice. Guys, it's gorgeous. Please let me know what you think. DIY, I'm using this sign I got at the Dollar Tree, and it has some sparkles on it, so I'm sanding it off, and then I'm going to use my little handy dandy ladybug vacuum to clean it up, and I'll put a link down in the description. Super cheap and very helpful to have. And now I'm just wiping away all the dust and cleaning it off so that I can prepare to turn this into a really cute Easter sign. The first thing I'm going to do is use my Waverly Antique wax, and I'm going to stain the frame around the picture. Put the wax on, and then I wipe the excess away with a paper towel, and that gives me the look that I'm going for. I do end up changing this later, but at the time I didn't know I was going to, so hence the staining. I'm going to be sure and get the edges too, because you will see that from the side, and I want to make sure that it all looks like it was meant to be stained that color on the entire frame. I'm going to put some masking tape along the inside of the frame because I'm going to be painting the face of this picture, and I want to protect the frame that I just finished staining. I'm using the Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery. I love that color so much. I like it as a good base for this. I'm going to cover the whole thing with 2 coats, and that just does the job perfectly. I'm going to remove the tape, and I'm going to add a top coat of the Waverly wax in white, and it just blends so nice with that celery, and it's like sealing it because it's got that shimmer kind of slippery feeling to it, and I just love how the celery peeks through. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I love these pop-up stickers. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to place them all the way around, starting in the corners, so I try to make them the same on each of the opposing sides. And once I get them on, I'm going to use that same Waverly white wax and cover them with several coats. And oh my gosh, it gets rid of the color that's on there, but it makes it look like there is like an embellishment on the frame. It was like it was always there. And I love that look so much. It's very farmhouse. I don't want just Easter eggs and bunnies and things like that for Easter, because Easter is all about the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So I used my Cricut and I designed a crown that I want to put on there, a crown of thorns. And then I love when we say on Easter, He is risen indeed. And I just love that idea for a sign. So it's right there to remind us. And I'm using this masking tape that I ordered on Amazon for transfer tape, and it's so much less expensive than the other kind, and it works really well, and it's not like overly sticky like the kind you have to rub on your pant leg first to make it less sticky. And now I'm just positioning them on there. I'm going to use a little bit of tape as a guide. Literally, you can do this any way you want. If you don't have a cutting machine, you can use the stickers from the Dollar Tree, rub-on transfers, you can write it, you can use carbon paper and print something out from the computer. So I just want to let you know there's so many options if you don't have a cutting machine. And I'm using gold vinyl, which I thought looked really good on this sign with the kind of blonde frame and then the green peeking through with also the wax on top of it. I just love it. It's kind of neutral, but it's also with the gold, it adds just a little punch. I decided to add a little bit of the gold metallic paint, just like a dry brush effect, where I put a teeny bit on my brush, rub most of it off, and then just go around the edges. And I really love how that turned out. I hope you like this. It means a lot to me. DIY, I have a picture frame from the Dollar Tree, 8x10, and then I've got a little piece of cardboard that I'm going to use my Cricut just to kind of score out a shape of a bunny, because, you know, freehanding it won't come out quite as nice. So I just ran it through, and now I'm just going to cut it out. It didn't go all the way through the cardboard. I don't have the right blade for that. I'm going to take everything out of my frame, you know, the backing and the glass and so forth, so that I can start working on what I'm going to do to the frame. I decided to use my Rust-Oleum linen white chalk paint, which I got from Amazon, to paint the frame. I'm just going to go around and paint it. I'm not trying to get like a very solid coverage because I will be distressing it. So I've done the whole entire front, sides, and the back. Now I'm going to take the inside portion that has the stand on it, and I'm going to figure out with some paint sticks that I also got at Amazon how many I need to actually fit across the whole thing and create some kind of faux shiplap planks. Now I'm going to tape them all together, and I used my square to make sure they were all even. That way when I put them in my little, you know, box miter saw, they'll stick together and I can cut them all at one time. You see how nicely that's happening? And then I'm just going to sand the ends, and I'm going to use my Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, which I'm really liking, by the way. I ordered that on Amazon as well. And I'm just going to glue each one of the planks, and they fit perfectly now on there. And all I have to do at the end is just sand around the edges just a teeny bit. I'm going to use my little Dollar Tree clamps to hold them in place. And there they are. Now I'm going to sand the entire surface with my little sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some burnt umber acrylic paint from Apple Barrel and mix it with some water. And I'm going to use a little foam brush, and I'm just going to apply it across the whole thing and basically treat it like a stain. And I didn't even rub it off because it was just fine the way it was. And then I'm going to take a little bit of that Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint, and I'm just going to dry brush across the top. Now I've got this cute piece of material from many years ago. I'm just going to cut a smaller piece, and I'm going to use my Beacon Fabri-Tac glue, which is great for fabric. I learned about this from my friend Linda at Faith Chick 777's DIY and Design, and I'll put her link down in the description box. And I got that on Amazon too. And I'm going to apply that to the bunny, and I'm going to put my fabric right on it. I'm going to take my brayer, and I'm going to roll right over the top of that and make sure it's adhering really well. And I'll take some scissors and cut it out. And I'll use a blade for any little pieces I couldn't get with the scissors. Now I am going to take that white paint again, and I'm just going to go around the edges and make it bleed a little over onto the front. I'm going to hot glue the bunny right onto the middle of my planks, and then I'm going to take some Mod Podge. I'm going to use matte. I'm just going to do the wood planks. Now I didn't want to do it before the bunny was on because I didn't think the bunny would stick as well. And all I have to do now is put it in the frame. But I decided I still wanted to distress that frame. So I just take a nail file and go all the way around. You guys, this is so easy. It came out so cute, very rustic, and I really love it. One of the great things about this is you can use any fabric or scrapbook paper or napkins. If you like, you could paint it any color and just customize it to your decor. Let me know what you think down in the comments. So rustic about like ragdoll type of things, and I'm gonna make a kind of a ragdoll bunny. So I freehanded this one, that's why it's not so great. But anyway, I cut it out on a piece of cardboard. You know, I'm always so inspired by my friend Holly at Hot Humble Pie because she does so much with cardboard, so I thought I should give it more of a try. I'll leave her link down in the description box. You will love her. And then I'm using a piece of a drop cloth, and that gives it that kind of rag feel. I'm just going to trace the shape around it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And it's doubled over, by the way, because I do need two pieces. We're going to make it kind of a plushie. And then you see I cut around the lines a little because those are going to be sort of like my glue seams. I'm not going to sew this, but you most certainly can. I just didn't feel like it. I'm going to use this pillow stuffing I have right here, and I'm going to start gluing from the bottom because those are the wider, bigger pieces, and I think it'll make it a lot easier than starting with the skinny little ears. And so once I get enough of the bottom and the sides glued, I'm going to start stuffing very gently, just little pieces at a time, pushing around until I get it to the thickness that I want. And I'm not going for anything super thick, just a little stuffing. And now I'm going to add a little bit of that stuffing and just go little by little, glue a little more on the sides, add a little more stuffing, all the way up to the top. And then I'll slow down a little bit to show you how I do the ears. Now for the ears, I'm going to pull out some little pieces of the stuffing and kind of roll them a little bit so that the bottom is a little wider than the top. That's kind of how the ears are shaped. And then I'm going to stuff it in. I only glued one side so far of that one ear, and I'm going to push it in, and then I will glue down the other side. And I'll repeat the same thing on the other ear and make sure that little spot in between the two ears is sealed as well. And I really do shove that stuffing in there so I can get to the two ends, otherwise you'll glue the stuffing. And there it is. And now I'm going to take my little baby scissors and I'm just going to cut little teeny slits around the side so that it frays. I took another piece of that scrap material that I'd cut off and I'm creating a little apron. And so it wasn't big enough to just do it outright, so I took two pieces and I'm just kind of gluing down the seams in the middle. You see the little straps around the side, and where that seam is, that's going to be kind of right where the bunny's tummy meets in the middle. I'm going to glue that down, and once I have that glued down except for the very top, which will have an opening, it's almost like a front pocket even though it looks like an apron, then I'm just going to tie the little straps in the back into a knot, and I'll just tack those down with a little teeny bit of hot glue so they don't flop around. Now I've got these buttons from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to find one that I like. I narrowed it down to 3, and then I finally picked this one. And then I'm just going to put some hot glue on it, a generous amount, and I'm going to put it right on the little bunny's face. I'm only going to do one side of this bunny. I'm going to take this orange burlap from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to kind of just keep folding it until I make like what looks like a carrot shape. And then I'm going to trim it when I'm done and make it really look like more of a carrot shape. Then I'm going to take this green twine that I have. I think it's from the Dollar Tree. I'm not actually sure. And I'm going to wrap it around my fingers several times and cut one side open and then glue the other side kind of to itself. And that will make the greenery that comes out of the carrot. I'm going to do the same thing with a little bit of jute twine because I want it to be kind of a combination of the green and the tan kind of jute color. And see how it's looking like a carrot now. And this is, I'm not going to do it as much with the jute. I just want to add a little accent in there, and I'm gluing them together. And then I'm going to put a little hot glue on the back of the carrot, attach the greenery, and then I cut a little triangle to cover that up, put that right on there, and then I'm just going to trim the carrot till it's the size that I want. I'm going to make 3 carrots. They came out really cute and they were super easy to make. And I'm just going to test it out and see how it fits in the pocket. And there they are. Now I'm going to take this mop head, and it's like 4 strands in one, and I'm going to separate them, wrap around my finger. I'm going to make not a full pom-pom, but kind of like a partial pom-pom. So otherwise I would have made it way thicker if it was a full pom-pom. But after I wrap it around a ton of times, keep adding more pieces, I just put one string in the middle and then tie it around one little end. Then I trim that piece and I just start trimming the little pom-pom, like giving it a haircut. This is going to be my bunny tail. And I thought that was so cute. Cut out a little like triangle of the back end of the bunny where you would have it, and there's a little hole there now, and I'm just going to kind of shove the bunny tail in there and glue it, and that worked perfectly. And now there are the carrots. I just love this little bunny. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments, and I really hope you guys like it too. I'm going to use a sock and a piece of a sock, and I wish I had tube socks. It would have been so much better. Then I'm going to use some burnt umber paint by Apple Barrel and the Fawn Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to mix those two together, take a baby wipe and rub it all over the socks because I really want it to look kind of like a worn out rag. And I didn't want to use the drop cloth because then I would have to deal with all the ends, but as a sock it's already solid. And I'm just pouring some rice in there. I'm just using a little bucket and rolling the top over to make it easier. When I get the first section the way I want it, I'm going to tie some twine around it, twice and make it really secure, and then cut off the ends. Then I'm going to add some more rice. Again, if I'd had a tube sock, what's going to happen next would have been so much better. So see that little teeny piece that was left? I needed more. So I had to add another piece of sock, kind of tie it on, and then cut it down the middle to make bunny ears. So imagine if it had been a tube sock. You would have had the ears built in already, and this would have been a much easier process. So if you make this, definitely use a tube sock, okay? I didn't have one. It didn't occur to me till I was already this far. Anyway, so now I'm cutting the ears, and you see I've got that big bunch in the middle there. I'm going to have to deal with that later, but I will. I'm going to trim them so they'll be kind of thinner, and then what I'm going to do is fold over as much as I can and hot glue kind of pieces down to cover where that extra piece was attached so you won't see it. And then I'm kind of putting a little bit of hot glue between the ears to hold them together. I'm going to add a couple of buttons from the Dollar Tree to the center for his little bunny outfit. Then I've got this like poly rope from the Dollar Tree in the automotive section. It's red, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it around itself and cut it and hot glue it and make a little nose. Then I'm going to take some twine, and I'm just literally going to add like 3 whiskers on each side. Just hot glue that right down. Then I'm going to take some scrap drop cloth that I had, and I'm going to make a little pocket. And I'm going to hot glue the pocket right onto the side of my little sock bunny. And there's my pocket once I get the last side attached. Obviously you can sew these kind of things if you want, but this is just so easy to do with hot glue. It's not like it's gonna carry anything heavy. I'm using a jot marker, and I am making the little bunny mouth, and it doesn't go on as nice as I want. And I'm going to also make the bunny eyes. So I end up taking a little bit of black apple barrel paint and filling in with a very fine art brush. And then I'm going to use a little bit of white apple barrel paint and make the little part of the eyeballs. Just kind of dab it on there. And then I've got a little piece of sock that was left over, and I kind of cut it into a triangle. And I'm just going to roll it onto itself and hot glue it and make a carrot shape. And then I've got some orange yarn from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to wrap it around, hot gluing it as I go, and then wrap it up around the top to cover all of the sock. And once I have that all glued down, I'm going to take some of the green twine that I have, and I'm going to wrap that around my fingers many times. Doesn't matter, it's up to you how much greenery you want. I'm just going to cut one end, hot glue the other end to itself, and then hot glue it directly to the top of the carrot, and that makes its little greenery. And I really like how this carrot turned out. Then I've got some buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to make a little awareness type ribbon, and then I'm just going to hot glue it in the center so it will stay in place. And then I'm going to take another little piece of plaid black and white ribbon. I'm just going to hot glue that around the center, give it a cute little centerpiece. And now I got to deal with that top of the bunny. So I'm going to start rolling it up and create kind of like seams. And I'm just hot gluing as I go. And now you won't see so much. I mean, you see it, but the bow's going to cover it pretty well. And that's the best I could do. Like I said, you really need a tube sock for this one. I still think it came out so cute, and I really love it. I would love to hear what you think about this one down in the comments. Dollar Tree, actually 2 of them. One has the metal bunny on it, which I need the bunny, but right now I don't need the sign, so I'll put that aside and I'll take the bunny for this particular DIY. And then that little welcome sign I'm going to use, I'm going to take off the plastic, paint the inside with a white acrylic paint because I want to get some pretty good coverage. You may wonder why I didn't use any painter's tape on this. I'm wondering that too now that I'm watching it back. I was trying to be careful, but I'm not very careful. So I did get paint on stuff, and now I'm putting celery. It's a chalk paint color from Waverly over the top, and I really love that. And that becomes like the second coat that really covers the words. And then I thought, now I'm going to see how the bunny's going to fit on there, and I realized I probably need to paint that little frame white. Well, I took out my Arteza paint markers, and I did that, but it shows the little marks like where you write. So I thought, okay, I'll just make that my base coat, and then I'll go get my white paint out again, and I'll touch that up. So I'm just using the pen to get the edges too, because that is a little easier than a brush. And now I'm going to go ahead and cover it so it looks really good. I feel like I did a lot of things on this one that took longer than they should have. Do you guys ever do that? I mean, just you think, oh, I'm going to do this and that, and then you make it so much worse by the choices that you make. Anyway, maybe it's just me, but that's what I did on this one. It should have gone way faster. So don't do what I did. Just paint it white to begin with, or put tape on it. See how I just got white on the green? Oh my gosh, Lisa, you need to use tape. It does turn out really cute, and I'm really happy with it overall. Again, tape would have been super nice. And I have some, so there's really no good excuse. Now that I have this all painted, I'm going to attach the bunny with some hot glue right over the top. And I just think it turns out super cute. So after all that, I still really love it. I hope you do too. Conversation bubble signs that Dollar Tree has, and I'm just going to draw a little line and use my blade utility knife, I guess, and I'm going to get rid of the little point at the bottom. I want it to look like the body of an Easter bunny. This one is going to be a cute bunny one. And then I also have this other sign from Dollar Tree that had different shapes on it. It had Easter eggs and different things, and I turned one of them into a head for the bunny, and I just took the whole thing apart. And then I also have that headband with the bunny ears, and I'm going to use that as well. So I'm hot gluing the two pieces together. I'm going to paint it with the Waverly chalk paint in plaster. I'm going to do 2 coats to cover it completely. I found a little bunny face online, and so just looking at my phone, and I'm freehanding the eyes and the mouth and the nose. And once I do that, I'm going to take my Arteza black paint marker, and I'm going to go ahead and draw in the eyes. And so, or actually the eye, I only have one because it's a side view. It was so easy, and it actually looks really cute. So don't be intimidated by trying to do something like this. It's actually not that hard. Dollar Tree sells these little tools, the one I'm holding. I think they're for scoring, but I use them for very precise painting like this because it's like a little point, but it's round, you know, like a ball tip. And so it works really well if you can find them in the Crafter Square section. I was so excited. I finally found the color ballet slipper from the Waverly chalk paint at Walmart. I've been looking for it for a long time. So I'm doing the nose with that color. It's so cute. And then I'm going to touch up where I went over the line a little bit. And afterwards, I'm going to use ballet slipper again to make the cute little rosy cheeks. I'm also going to use ballet slipper like dry brushing around the edges of the bunny because I just wanted a little bit of pink in there, and I just love the way it looked. Now I'm going to attach the little bunny ears. I'm going to stretch it out a bit, and then I'm going to hot glue it directly onto the head, and it looks so cute, you guys. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm going to use one of these microfiber dust pads from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut out a little circle and make a fuzzy tail for the bunny, and that was just perfect. I'm also going to use this gray and white mop head, and I'm going to start creating a circle with them, kind of like, you know, attaching them around the sides of itself. And I'm going to use hot glue, and those will be the 2 little feet that you see on the one side. And I'm just looking for some different textures, and I actually really liked the way that came out. It was super easy, and I had lots of extra ones. I have one of those little baby carrots from the Dollar Tree, and I just put it there like he was holding it. And now I'm going to take some floral pics from Dollar Tree, just really vibrant, beautiful colors, and I'm going to cut off the little pieces, and I'm going to create a little bouquet that I'm going to wrap in some ribbon that I got, I believe at Walmart. Really pretty burlap ribbon with lace on it. And I'm just going to hot glue that directly to the center of the bunny. I'm going to get some jute twine, and I'm going to make a cute little bow, the kind where you just wrap it around your fingers a bunch of times, tie the center, and then snip the loops. I'm also going to fill in the little hole above the eye with some hot glue and then paint it with the plaster. Super easy, you guys. I mean, seriously, this was such an easy one, and it came out so cute, so festive. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. You'll have to tell me what you think. I really love it. super fun, festive Easter craft. I found this sign at the Dollar Tree with all the little eggs and a bunny and a chick on it. And I'm going to use the eggs and the bunny. I'm just going to rip the pieces apart. It came apart super easy. And I also found this pretty basket at the Dollar Tree. And then I've got these big round kind of, I don't know what you call those florals, but they're huge. And I cut 3 of them and just set them in the basket. Didn't even need foam or anything. They fit in there perfectly. I'm just arranging the leaves. And then I'm going to leave all of these eggs just as they are because they're super cute. And I just think there's no reason to change them. And I'm going to hot glue them to the front and position them kind of into a fun little design. And this is so easy, you guys. This one, you don't have to do any special techniques. No painting. Yay. No mess to clean up. Just hot glue. And that's it. You guys, Easter is such a special time of the year. It's a time for us to remember that the Savior is there for us, that He came back and that He rose again. And oh my gosh, there's so much hope in that, so much eternal hope. And I just pray that every one of you fully receives the gift that He has given you. Because of the way that I hot glued the eggs on, there was a little gap between 2 of them. So I just took a little piece of a shim and put it in between, and that will keep that nice and solid. And that way, I won't accidentally break it if I move it around. I'm going to add the little bunny just behind the very top of the egg, so he's just kind of peeking out. And I just think it's so cute. I mean, I could have painted it and done stuff to it, but I think it was cute the way it was. And I have this little heart tag that's like a little chalkboard surface, and I'm using one of my Arteza paint markers, and I'm just writing Happy Easter. Not super fancy, just, regular capital letters. And I'm going to put a really pretty little turquoise piece of ribbon in there and hang it on the bunny. I'm just going to add a little teeny bit of hot glue to keep the heart where I want it to sit, and that'll just hold it nice and secure. I have this green twine, and I honestly can't remember if it's from Dollar Tree or Walmart, but it's one of those 2. And I'm literally just going to wrap it around 2 fingers and make one of those little simple bows where you tie off the middle. This one I'm not going to cut open the loops, though. I think it looks really cute. It's almost going to look like the bunny has a bow tie. This was such a fun and easy little centerpiece to make, just to have a nice festive Easter table. Let me know what you think in the comments. Friend, for this first DIY, I'm taking a hat from the Dollar Tree, a scarf from the Dollar Tree, and some florals that I already had on hand. And I don't think they came from the Dollar Tree, but maybe they did. And I'm going to take my tags off, and I'm going to take that red scarf off of the hat because I don't need it. This is just going to be such a simple, fun thing to do and fitting in with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blade and then my scissors, and I'm going to cut some little slits in the hat, right where the top of the hat meets the brim. And what I want to do is kind of weave the scarf in and out around the entire hat. So once I get that cut and then on the inside, and then I've got to fluff it and glue pieces down, just to make it look good, because it never does what you want. And the hats at Dollar Tree, honestly, are super cheap. And so some of the slits I cut, they came apart even bigger. So I just had to hot glue and kind of make it look like they were just woven in and out. So just a warning, if you do get a Dollar Tree hat, just know that's going to happen. And once I get them all situated, though, I am going to tie the scarf into a knot. And it's just going to look so cute on there. Doesn't that just remind you of picnics out in the English countryside?
Or a fun Easter bonnet that you would wear.
Very country, cottagey English almost. It's so cute. Now that I've got the top dealt with, I'm going to turn it over and work on the bottom, and I'm going to secure things there because I just don't want it to pull through. This is just going to be something you can hang on a wall or set on a shelf kind of as a piece of decor. And it won't be touched a lot, but I still don't want anything to happen. And I used some jute cord to make a little hanger. Very simple, just cut a piece, hot glued it, and then put a little masking tape over it. You're never going to see that because that will be up against the wall or laying on top of something. Next, I'm going to start adding some florals. So I had pulled a few aside, and now I'm just going to figure out which ones that I actually do want to use for this. I love those kind of off-white ones. I think they look great, so I'm definitely going to do that. And then I'm going to add in some of the yellow too, because I want to make it all tied together. But I don't want to overdo it, so I had extras. I didn't end up using them because I think they were just too much. I even cut one off and put it up there and looked at it, and then I thought, no, just remember, less is more. That's kind of my mantra. Then I got these natural wooden beads that I had gotten from Amazon, and I picked the larger ones. And I'm literally going to hot glue one to every intersection where I made a little, I guess, kind of poof, if you will, for the scarf. And I think it looks so cute. I'm not going to paint them. I'm not going to do anything. Just hot glue them right onto the hat. I'm honestly loving this look. Please let me know what you think. Would you make something like this? I mean, it's so easy. This is just super easy. I mean, why not try it?
There is something so rustic about an old rugged cross, and that's what I'm going to make. I had a bunch of sticks that my husband was kind enough to gather for me before the winter started, and I've been saving them for, whatever I might want to use them for. So I'm gathering the same size sticks for the long side of the cross, and then I'm going to cut some to make the short side of the cross. And this is just so fun. I mean, I'm just playing with sticks. They're free. They came from outside. So now I'm going to use my tin snips and just try to cut off any knobs that are, distracting. Just, trying to get the pieces to a similar size. I'm not going for an exact. I don't mind if some of the pieces stick out a little bit because this is rustic and it's rugged. And I just love the whole concept of this. Now that I have my two little stacks of sticks, easy for me to say, I'm going to use some jute twine and I'm going to tie just before the ends. So I don't know, an inch or so before each end. And I'm going to hot glue it down and I'm going to wrap it around so that it holds nice and sturdy. And then I'm going to add some additional hot glue here and there to make sure that it stays in place, that the middle sticks don't slide out. I'm going to do this on each end of the two stacks. So that's 4 different spots that I'm going to do this. And it just adds to the farmhouse rustic look of it. And it's just, I love it, you guys. I really do. I mean, talk about a cost-effective DIY, but it's beautiful. It's just so natural and beautiful. And I cannot wait for this to be up in my house. I'm super excited. And now I'm moving on to the short stack, which is the cross part of the cross, or should I say the horizontal part of the cross. I'm going to do the exact same thing to this one that I did to the other one. Now it's time to assemble my cross, and the way I'm going to do that is using that same twine. And I don't think I said it earlier, but this twine is from Walmart. I'm going to pull it under and I'm going to tie a knot around diagonally, and then I'm going to continue to wrap it around back and forth on each angle and then even around the two sides to get a really nice secure hold. And I'm going to hot glue it down, and just like I did with the other ones, look for any loose spots and add a little dab of hot glue to hold it in place. I want it to be very secure. I don't want this to go anywhere, and I am just loving this one, you guys. It's just peaceful. It's the cross. I mean, what it represents, and what Jesus did for us by being on that cross. It was just very cool to make this. I have this gorgeous burlap ribbon with lace over the middle from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap it from around the back of the tall side of the cross and then over the top of the horizontal pieces, kind of like a shroud. I mean, maybe you've seen people wrap things around a cross like this before, but I just thought it was just the perfect touch. It kept it farmhouse rustic, and it just, oh, I don't know, you guys, I really love this one. I don't know what else to say. Let me know what you think. I'm just so excited. I know my husband's going to want it. I just know I'm never going to see it again. Well, I shouldn't say that. He'll put it in his office, and that's where I'll see it again. Super easy, fun DIY. I am going to use this tall cylinder vase from the Dollar Tree, some glitter Easter eggs, some scatter foam for Easter, and I've got a carrot there and I don't know if I end up using it or not. And then I've also got this really cute kind of twine garland from the Dollar Tree that's got little gold, little berry type flowery things on it. I never know what to call those. Anyway, super cute. And I'm just literally going to put everything in the vase that will fit, kind of crunch it in there and alternate between the eggs and the scatter foam so that it's kind of a nice mixture. What I'm looking for is something super fun, colorful, and festive. I have these two really cute grass pics that have little butterflies up on the top from Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna scoot them in there as best I can. I really didn't want to add a lot of colorful flowers because there's so much color already in the vase itself. So I thought the tall grass coming out with the butterflies would be super cute and feel a lot like an Easter type piece of decor. What do you guys think? This was easy. You could do this with your kids. You could do this, even if you're not crafty, you could do this. This was just filling the vase up. It was super easy, you guys. And sometimes it's fun to do projects like that, where you don't have to mix paints and use funny techniques and just kind of have fun. And then I bent some of the grass out just to give it a little more interest and have, you know, different heights and things going on. This is one of those crafts where you could pretty much do whatever you want and make it look however it would fit best in your home. Let me know in the comments how you would decorate this. Going to make a super easy Easter garland. I found this yarn at Walmart, and I have this little tool that I created out of cardboard, and I put a little skewer stick on there to hold it straight, and then I cut out a notch and I made tassels with it. Now I have a video where I really go slow and I take my time explaining it, so I'm going to link that up in the cards and also down in the description box. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time right now explaining how to make the tassels because I just as soon have you go to that video where it's so much more clear. But I am making quite a few of these tassels, and honestly, the amount that you make will depend on how long you want your garland to be and how you want to create your own pattern. I chose to make tassels with this yarn and another kind of twine. This yarn was super thin, so when I made the tassel, I wrapped it around about 30 times. On the green twine, it's much thicker, so I only wrapped it around 15 times because it was really twice as thick as the yarn. I also decided to use the regular jute twine and do the tie around the top of the tassel with that, just to kind of make it look a little different. So instead of using the green, I'm using the regular one. You could really do this with any color you want, anything that speaks Easter to you. It's your garland and you can be as creative as you want. Now I'm going to get some of my beads. I'm going to use all different sizes, and I'm going to put them on a skewer to paint them. There are so many different ways you can do this. I've just found this to be a pretty easy way. And then I stick the skewer into a piece of foam so it stays in place, and I just hold the top and twist it while I'm painting it. I have also seen people put them in a little bowl with paint and a little bit of water and toss them around. Honestly, whatever works just to get them painted. I'm using the maize color Waverly chalk paint for the first section of beads, and then I'm going to use a couple other colors. This one is celery, by the way, that I'm painting these, and they're different sizes. I buy the beads on Amazon. I'll put a link in my description to show you the ones I bought. They're not always the same ones that are available, but they're similar. Much cheaper for a huge amount of beads in different sizes. Also, you get to pick the pattern you want to make. So how many beads you use and which ones will be up to you. Now I'm also painting the other size there in plaster, and I'm going to mix them all up, and I'm kind of working on that pattern that I'm deciding on. And I'm going to use the jute twine to string them all up. Again, this part is individual, whatever you like. I wanted mine to look like they could go into the whole time of spring, not just Easter. So I kind of didn't do specific Easter things. I just tried to pick some colors that I thought would work for both. There's a couple options to make stringing the beads and the garland easier, and you can either use like a needle, a very large needle, or you can wrap a little teeny bit of tape around the end of your twine and make it a little bit more firm and tight, and then it will get into the holes of even the smallest beads. What you're seeing me do here was try to get one of my little knots out. I was knotting between different rows of beads, or patterns of beads I should say, and I used the pointy end of a skewer to help me get in there. I have a tendency to pull my knots really tight, and even when I'm not sure if they're going to stay, so I have to try to remember to keep them looser until I'm positive where I want to put them. This was just a really super simple garland that you could use, and you can make them with cute little things hanging on them besides tassels and beads, or you could just have one thing at the end, whatever you like. I hope you guys like this one, and I hope that you get to make one that fits perfectly in your home. And here we have another super easy DIY. This little ceramic sign I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use it to put on a tiered tray because it's just the perfect size for that. I'm going to use my Arteza paint markers, and I'm just priming one right now because I don't think I've used that color before. You can put whatever you want on your sign. I'm going to literally have one side say Easter wishes, and then put some little Easter eggs on it. And on the other side, it's gonna say bunny kisses. It's gonna be super easy, super cute. I'm just handwriting it. I could have used my Cricut, I could have used stickers, but you know what? I wanted to make it very specific, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time. I definitely didn't want to spend a lot of money, and this was an easy way to do it. And literally, this cost me $1, plus the fact that I already had the markers. So if you want to factor in a couple cents for the use of those, that's it. You could put whatever you want. You could make these kind of little signs designs for every season and switch them out on your little tiered trays. Just a cute little addition to have, something that's super colorful. And if you didn't know, the Arteza markers come with a little tweezers. You see me using it there. And if you pull out the tips, one side is wider and one is pointy for more, detailed work. And I didn't learn that till I'd had them for a long time. So that was something kind of cool to find out. And I really like that because I can write those little teeny spots with the pointy side. And this video is not sponsored by Arteza. These markers were a gift from my son, my birthday last July, and I'm really enjoying them. I am freehanding a bunny. Try not to laugh too hard at my bunny. I'm not an artist by any means, but I figured, I'll kind of make a little bunny shape, and hopefully you guys will know that's what it is when you see it. I'm going to add a little ribbon around one side. Well, it's around the whole thing, but I'll make the little tie in the front. On the Easter Wishes side, it's a ribbon I got at Dollar Tree that I thought was very bright and festive. And then on the other side, I'm just going to use a little bit of that green twine that I used in the garland. And I'm going to have that one facing on the other side because as a two-sided little sign, I want them both to look cute. For this one, I'm just going to make a cute little bow, wrapping some twine around my fingers and then tying it off in the middle. Super simple, nothing fancy. I hope this gives you some cute ideas for things that you can do for Easter or even spring. And hopefully this will be something you might want to add to one of your tiered trays, and you can customize it any way that you like. It's super fun, and let me know in the comments what you think or what you might do instead. This wreath back in the fall, and I decided I'm going to repurpose it. I'm going to remove the fall florals, and now I'm going to add some really pretty spring and Easter type flowers and some greenery. And literally it's just so easy because I wrapped it in nautical rope. It's so easy to attach, and you can use hot glue. You don't have to. A lot of it will just stick right in between the pieces of nautical rope. And I'm just going to arrange the different florals just the way I like it. First I'm going to add the greenery around, and then I'm going to put different colored flowers in there. And you can do this any way you like, whatever colors fit your decor, whatever you like. I was just going for super springy, festive, vibrant colors. I'll put a link to the video where I originally made this wreath down in the description box in case you want to see, what I started with and how it got to the point where it starts in this video. You guys, I'm in love with these little carrots, as you can tell. So I decided to add some to this wreath. I just think they are so cute, and I just love the bright orange color. So I added 4 to the bottom of the wreath, and they're just so cute. I cannot get enough of these carrots. This little grass pick that I got at Dollar Tree has butterflies in it. So I cut out 3 of the butterflies and I put the purple one in the center between the carrots and the 2 pink ones on the sides of the wreath. And I just love the extra little touch. It's so spring and Easter. I have this cute little wire garland from the Dollar Tree, and it's got little white, I don't know if they're berries or flowers on it, and I just had a little bit left over, so I wrapped a little bit on each side, and I just thought it added a nice little touch, and again, really just created that festive Easter spring feel that I was going for. I love how this turned out, and I hope you guys like it. I can't wait to hang it on my door.
Thank you so much for watching. That is all I have for you today. I want you to know that you are truly a blessing to me. If you enjoyed this video, I've got another one on the screen, and I really think you'll like that one too. So go ahead and click it, and if you do, I will see you there. Bye.
The lights are red. I've been hiding the world safely in my head.